Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, and welcome to my guide for Life is Strange True Colors. In this video, I'll be showing you all 25 of the memories, which are kind of like collectibles, as well as the 4 missable achievements or trophies. Before we get started, a special thank you to Square Enix for providing early access to the game for this video. As with my previous Life is Strange videos, I will do my absolute best to avoid spoilers when possible, but obviously, by the nature of the video, there will be some spoilers, and you can also mop these up at any point by going to the chapter select and replaying a chapter just to get the collectible or an achievement out of the way. The first collectible can be found, obviously, in Chapter 1. Upon reaching Gabe's apartment, you'll walk forward and go to his desk to find Riley's letter. In order to trigger a memory, you'll want to use the left trigger to trigger your ability to find emotions in objects and then interact with that object and allow it to unlock. Upon unlocking a new memory, it will also store in your menu, so you can press back at any time to open up your phone and your notepad, and in your notepad you'll keep track of your memories. We can also find another memory in the same apartment. It's a crack in the wall located just to the right of basically where we spawned once we gained control of our character. The third memory is the business card, which can be found once you are in the bar. Just head forward and go behind the bar in order to find it resting kind of at the back, not far from the computer screen.
Thanks for driving me home, Mike. You're the nicest.
The final 2 memories in Chapter 1 can be found once you reach this kind of little mining town. And the first thing you're going to want to do is walk forward and go to the large gate where Gabe and Ryan are located. Just to the left of that, you can find a helmet. Make sure you interact with it emotionally to find the memory of it.
I got you. I got you. It's okay. You're okay. Oh, God.
We then spring forward a little bit in Chapter 1, and we will gain access to what I believe is the processing plant. This is on the way to try to get to the Watchtower silo. And as soon as you get inside, turn around, and behind you on the wall there will be a phone. And you can obviously look at it, but also interact with it using the left trigger to get the memory out of it. Additionally, every chapter will have 5 memories, and upon getting all 5 of them, you'll get an achievement for grabbing all of them in that chapter. There's also one for getting all 25 at the end of the game. We then hop on board in Chapter 2, where we will have control of our character in our apartment, and we'll have the ability to head up the stairs onto the rooftop, where there is a little garden. We can interact with the chair here and relax. But in one of the garden beds, there is a button that will be our collectible for this area.
Stay here too. I wouldn't try to stop you.
Yeah, good.
We will then head downstairs from our apartment back into the bar. And here we can grab the rent check by going behind the bartending area closest to where we spawned. And here you can find it hanging on the edge. For some reason, some of my achievement unlocks aren't showing up on screen, but yours should be.
Look, I appreciate what...
Now, from the rent check, staying inside of the bar here, we can head over to the washrooms. And as we head over there, we can obviously use the right trigger to walk a little bit faster. You'll find an umbrella resting on the ground in the corner, and this will be our 8th out of 25 memories.
And I decided I wanted to be a ranger.
We will then come outside of the bar and have our first opportunity at one of the 4 missable achievements or trophies. This one is called bird spotting. Directly in front of you as you exit the bar, you should notice this woman. You can read her emotions to realize that she is looking for a bird for a bird watching contest. After that, you can speak to her in order to engage in a small conversation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go find her the perfect bird. So what you want to do is start heading towards the river behind this corner diner. There's a little weird invisible wall here. But if you follow the wall and then look up into the tree, you should notice a quite remarkable bird, and you'll want to actually kind of interact with it to make sure Alex has a dialogue about the bird. And then we can just head back to the bird watching woman, and basically we're going to let her know that that bird is there. and she's going to say thanks, and she's going to go take a picture of it, but we're also going to grab our achievement and trophy. I have a hunch that she will end up winning the birdwatching competition.
Be my hawk. Thank you.
We can then head into town. This is Main Street. As we're walking down it, you'll notice the record store. You've been here earlier, but we're going to kind of come back through a lot of the same shops throughout the story. But we can head into the record store, and we'll grab the Found Dog achievement / trophy by going inside and talking to this hoodie guy. The first thing we want to do is interact with his emotions to realize he's mad about Chrissy leaving him. Now, Chrissy is not his girlfriend, it's actually his dog, and we find this out by interacting with the bulletin board across the shop. And we'll notice that there is a flyer here that says that a dog was found. We now have new information about Chrissy, and new dialogue will be unlocked in the top left corner of the screen. We can now go back to the hoodie guy and talk to him. We'll let him know where the dog is, and at this point, the achievement or trophy should unlock. Again, mine didn't show up on screen, but I did get it.
Thank you so much. I'll call them right now.
I'll head back out to Main Street to give you a good point of reference as to where I am, but we're going to go to the Silver Dragon shop. This is where Chrissy works, and as we enter, we will have a long conversation, but after that, we can just head to the back room, and on the back shelf to the right, we can find some gummies. We'll want to interact with these in order to grab the next memory.
These things better do the trick. I'm averaging like...
Last but not least, for collectibles in Chapter 2, we're going to head all the way to the end of Main Street where we can find the flower shop. If you go inside, there's quite a lot of things to do, but after you kind of start a small conversation, you'll have kind of a free ability to go anywhere you want. Just walk forward and look down to your left to find a t-shirt inside of a bookshelf, and this will be another memory. That should be all 5 for Chapter 2.
What do you want? You want to make fun of me too, like those other jock assholes?
We're now in Chapter 3, gaining control of our character inside of the bar, and we're going to go and grab the Earworm Squasher achievement / trophy. Head on out and interact with this student by reading their mind, and they're going to be humming a song. And you're not going to know what song that is yet, but maybe Steph and Ryan will know. So go and talk to them and make sure you interact with them about the song. Now they're going to have quite a long dialogue of about 30 seconds here, so we are going to skip forward a little bit. But they will let you know that the song is called Alabaster Daydreams and that Jed has hidden the CD or the vinyl because he's completely over that song. So we're going to go talk to Jed, who's sitting in the corner by the window, and we're going to mention the song to them. And they're going to let us know that they keep it near the computer. So we are now going to head over to the computer to find that CD for the jukebox. And then we are going to take it and insert it into the jukebox, shuffle over to the second song, and then play it. And as soon as you play it, the achievement or trophy should unlock. Now, while we're in the bar, there's also a memory. This is our first memory of Chapter 5, and it is located near the restrooms. So walk across and head on over, and it's the bomber jacket sitting in the corner here. There's quite a lot of collectibles that show up in this room throughout the game, so we'll be back here a couple more times even.
Jeez, I don't know, boss man. Maybe.
We will then end up outside in Chapter 3. You'll notice that there's a guitar on our back and a hat on our head. This is because we are participating in the LARP, and we will head to the bar, and on our way there, we can find an appointment slip just in front of the door. We'll have to go and find all 3 of the jewels in order to complete our quest. But we'll head now into the bar to talk to Ducky. After we talk to Ducky, we can find the old paper memory by walking forward, turning left into the billiards room. And here on the desk, not far from the bear, we can find memory number 13. We're halfway done.
The 13th quinquennial meeting of the Daegu
As we continue our route through the town, we will end up going to the record store again. I'm fairly certain you have to come here, but upon entering, after the conversation, you can find memory number 14, Valkyrie's dish, on the ground near the back of the little cash register area. Also, the numbers that I'm assigning these collectibles are pretty arbitrary. They're just my way of counting them.
But a combat-based system with no social.
Now, be careful with this one, but I am now done all the quests and heading back towards the king. And just before them, I'll notice $1 on the ground, and I can interact with it in order to grab the next memory. Now, I did notice this $1 earlier on in the chapter, but it wouldn't let me interact with it until the end. The thing is, if you walk 1 or 2 steps past the $1, it will trigger the next cutscene, and then you can't grab it. Either way, we now move on to chapter 4 near the very beginning. Once you gain control of your character inside of the apartment, turn around behind you and find the pressed rose on the wall here. Interact with it as always to get the achievement. For some reason, mine didn't show up on screen again. You'll then end up outside, and at the festival, there's a couple of things to grab, but exactly where we're standing, once we can walk around with Alex, directly behind us, there's a drum kit on the stage. This will be our next memory. Now from here, there's a couple more things to do, but we can get the exactly 731 achievement / trophy by walking across and finding the jelly bean counter and speaking to them. I'm going to fast forward this conversation a little bit, but they want a little bit of advice on how many jelly beans are in the jar. And our first recommendation here will be 800. Make sure you pick that. And at this point, the kind of the person who runs the contest behind the desk will have a emotional reaction, and what we want to do is we want to interact with them, and they'll say something along the lines of, wow, 800's pretty close, but I hope they don't guess something a little bit lower. So after you do that, talk to the jelly bean counter again and recommend that he updates his count. Instead of 800, now we want to recommend 700, which is a new number we didn't have before. And now we're going to get another emotional reaction from the lady behind the desk. And she's going to say, well, that's even closer, but I sure hope they don't pick 731, because it has to be the exact correct amount in order to win the contest. So now that we know that, we're going to let the man know that is the exact amount he needs to guess to win, and that will unlock our achievement or trophy. Now, while still at the festival, we can also grab memory number 18, which is the microphone. It's going to be located directly behind the concert stage. There's a little step right there, and we can find the microphone. And we can then kind of continue on with some of the story, but there's a couple more collectibles you'll want to do before you grab the rose. So instead of grabbing a rose and then trying to end the chapter, well, we're going to head over to the bar and then head inside. You should know where that is by now. We've been here like 5 times. But if you go to the back room, you'll notice that there is a Polaroid next to the women's washroom. This is the next memory for us. While you're here, you can also talk to Ducky and have a really sweet moment with him in terms of the story. Last but not least, before grabbing a rose and interacting with someone to end the festival, head all the way down the street to the flower shop. And don't go onto the bridge. Instead, go behind the flower shop. And here you can find a really well hidden CIT sticker on the little glass. And you'll interact with that. And that should be all the collectibles for chapter 4. Only 1 chapter to go.
Oh, honey. You'll catch the...
I'm going to try to do my best to avoid specific story spoilers, but there's going to be some stuff going on. You will end up in a hospital, and directly in front of you, just to the right, on top of a counter, you can find your mom's keys. That's going to be our first for this chapter.
Gabe? Alex? I need you to listen very carefully.
You will eventually end up in this home with two individuals who are arguing outside. You can see them kind of through the curtains. No spoilers again. We're going to head to the kitchen now. And here you'll have your fridge and your stove. But in the corner, you can find a business card. This is our next collectible.
Hey, Gabe.
You'll then end up in an orphanage where young Alex will have some memories. And on the bunk bed closest to yours, you can find some guitar strings with an angry memory attached to them.
I don't understand. Why can't I have my guitar?
Now, this next collectible seems like it's unmissable, and this will happen when you are down in the mine, and you will eventually reach some rubble. Once that happens, you'll dig through the rubble, and you will find a pendant that will remind you of your father. And during your time inspecting the pendant, in the cutscene, at some point, a memory will unlock. It'll show up in the top left corner, and the achievement or trophy should pop at that time.
Dad.
Last but not least, we end up back in our apartment and we can find the bomber jacket, which we interacted with earlier. This time it'll be sitting on the chair next to the window. This should be our last memory for 25 out of 25. You'll get an achievement or trophy for getting all of the memories. All of the memories in Chapter 5 as well. You'll get another one. And then all you'll have to do is finish the game and surely have your 1,000 out of 1,000 or your platinum trophy. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. A super special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. And hopefully I see you soon. Peace.